Greetings to all. Thanks everyone for joining us for the next episode of From Ordinary to Extraordinary. And in this program, as you know, we are bringing people we know who are doing something unique in their uh, life, in their career, in their work life. And we want to inspire all of you as well as to see we all can do these extraordinary things in our own life. And it is sometimes about asking the question, what if? And we like to listen to them, their stories. And today I am honored and privileged to have uh, my guest, Dr. Abeer AlRasbi. So there is a small story how I got introduced to Dr. Abeer. I was after working with a bank, and due to the merger, I moved out of the organization. I was doing freelance work, and it was at that period which a contact of mine reached out for a project, and Dr. Abeer working with Zaid University was introduced to me by my good friend Dr. Mahmoud, and that was my first interaction. And we did a program for Dr. Abeer's team at that time. So it is a privilege to welcome Dr. Abeer for this episode of From Ordinary to Extraordinary. I will just give a quick introduction about Dr. Abeer. Dr. Abeer is currently Director, Student Leadership Department, and handling the Student Affairs Deanship at Zaid University, and also have many other interesting hats she wear as a CEO of Erteqa for Training and Development, as uh, a motivational assessment facilitator and practitioner with motivation buttons, as I am remarkable facilitator, and we like to hear her story with respect to the Maxwell leadership, being a coach and executive leadership facilitator, and had a fantastic track record as a career coach with NAFIS, Amity University, advisory board member with British University in Dubai, as board member of EIBFS CSR committee, as well as Rabadhan Academy, assistant professor, Higher College of Technology. So these are the journey through which Dr. Abeer has progressed. And we will listen to her, what was her initial entry into the workforce, what was the transition, what are the influences. Dr. Abeer, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much giving me this guest. I mean, just by the title of yours, it's really, really interesting to be part of with you.
Thank you, Dr. Abeer. So today I am starting with my first question with regard to like for example, when we say director of student leadership, what are some of your responsibilities involved in, just to give that perspective to the audience first, then we will delve deeper into other important areas of your work.
Sure. Director of Department with this university, I started with them in 2009. My main responsibility in the department, the team with me to build the students' leadership skills and development and their abilities to be the future. We for them, and it's all around their personal development and their other programs we offer around clubs, some of activities, events. We involve sports. We all involve sometimes the social program is focused on how students could build a future leaders from any perspective of their life. This is
Yeah, sorry, Dr. Abir, there was a small connection challenge. So maybe may I ask you to just
yeah.
rejoin the stream? Probably we will just wait for you to just disconnect and rejoin. Probably that may help. There was a bit of voice
I'll,
disruption. If you can check, well, because I'm seeing the yellow
okay.
bars in the network connectivity. If you can just disconnect
Okay.
and
I'll do
join.
that.
Yeah, yeah, please, please. Sorry for that.
Okay.
Yes, friends, we are just waiting for Dr. Abir because we had a small connection challenge. So I hope Dr. Abir will be able to rejoin. Sometimes tech have its challenges at times. I hope she will be able to join without much challenge. Let us wait for her for a moment. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Abir. I
I'm
think
back.
now it is better.
Okay. I'm back.
Yeah, so sorry for asking you to just. So I was just
No, it's
informing
fine.
our audience that sometimes tech issues emerges, and so thank you again. So if you can just repeat that part with respect to your sharing from the student leadership, that will be helpful.
Sure, sure. What we do within Students Leadership Department at Zayed University is actually building future leaders from our students who are currently in the academic life for years. We do that as an support for their academic like progress within the classroom. What we do is building leadership programs. We build into the national identity of the students as well, and we focus on how the students could privilege whatever is offered in terms of their personal growth and their leadership growth. This is through programs, guest speakers, session that we organize, activities that we provide to the students, either through clubs, through student centers, and we also involve sometimes sport in building these skills within the students. So basically, we try to get all the angles that get the students to really self discover themselves and try to build the future leaders, as I said.
Thank you very much. So it is providing that holistic development for the student population of the
Very,
university. That's
yes,
fantastic.
yes.
Now I am coming to your journey, especially, for example, I was just reviewing your profile, and I saw you started in the financial services professional, and way back. And what was it like at that time entering to the financial service sector? Do you recollect what is the story behind your entry to the financial
Ah,
services?
okay, that was long time ago. Okay. You see, I let's start from the beginning when I graduated from the university and I did my bachelor in science, to be honest. And then after that, I start looking for a job. Sometimes it's not easy to get a job within the same degree that you study. And then after a couple of years, I decided, okay, I'm going to start with whatever job I can get. I just need
Mhm.
to start building myself. And that was my main idea, because like sitting home just doing nothing is not going to help me. And it was then when I found an opportunity with the banking sector, and it was very basic job. It was a reception because like my degree wasn't matching the banking sector, so I accepted being at the reception, and my duty was mainly greeting guests and answering calls. That's the most I have to do as the receptionist. But within 5 years, yeah, 5 years and a half almost, I moved from reception to branch manager.
Mm.
That's because I started looking at the picture from the outside and said, okay, Abir, you started a new thing in your life. It's nothing that you have studied in the university. The first thing you need to understand, what are these people talking about? Because they were talking like business language, business vocabulary, and I have no clue what they are saying. So I said, okay, to be able to understand what they are doing, I need to build and invest in myself. So I went to the college and I studied for 2 years to be able to understand the business language. So I did a diploma in business administration, and then I started really to understand how people are interacting in the business world. I moved on a little bit, got promoted because I understand what they are doing. And something I love about myself is that I always ask questions. I ask a lot of questions. So I keep asking people, what is this? How do you do this? Where do you go with these checks, for example? And how do you process this? So I started to learn a lot of things, plus the degree that I did again as a diploma. So I got to be promoted to an officer. I started like a new career within banking. And then again, I thought, okay, Abir, you need to start investing in yourself. What's next? I started my master degree, and I did it in management with the quality specialization, like quality management. Then I start moving within my career in banking from an officer to a senior officer in the operation. Of course, that was in the operation side, the back operation. And then I moved from a bank to second to a third bank, and the third bank was my like a branch manager, assistant branch manager, to be promoted as a branch manager. So yeah, I mean, these 5.5 years of being in banking is actually what built the base for Abir to be the person that I wanted to be in the future. It get me to learn a lot about myself, a lot of like challenges, a lot of skills that I have learned. I know that if I put something in my mind, I will be able to do it. So it made me discover myself, learn a lot about myself, invest in myself, and also building connection with people and interaction and communication with people. A lot of things that I gained from being in the banking sector. So yeah, it was a really, really amazing experience for me.
Thank you for sharing that. So, do you remember any like some of the challenges you mentioned that you were unable to understand that banana business
A
terms?
lot,
But
to be honest. A lot. First,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah. Um, One of the let's say like dealing with customer, that was one of the like kind of a critical things for me at the beginning, because dealing with customer, angry customer, especially like for example Emirati customer dealing with a woman, it was really something I had to work around as a challenge myself, to
Mm.
be able to make these customer trust me, to be able to make these customer understand that I know my job and I can do it for them and I can support them and give them whatever they need as a service from the bank or as a product. So that was one of the challenges that I was facing, but I knew that I can do it, and the trust in myself, the self confidence that I built in myself over the years made me confident enough in how to communicate with people and how to talk to people. This is one of the main challenges I have to say that faced me at the beginning, and in fact during my whole banking career, to be honest, because until I left the banking in 2006, that was still an issue with some customers, to be honest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you for being sharing that. Now I may ask, what was that shift? Like, for example, as you mentioned, you moved from banking to the other sector. Now, what was some
Yes.
of the inspirations behind that pivot in that stage? How did you prepare for that shift?
Uh, Actually, there wasn't any preparation. It happened. Let me tell you the story of that, because this is one of the stories that I really appreciate about myself,
Yeah.
if I have to say that. Um, when I was in banking, and I was really doing great within my job in the banking, and getting promoted very quickly from position to a position, from a bank to a bank. And there was also in 6 months another promotion to be a regional manager for the bank that I was working at in 2006. But one day I felt that. That feeling of something is missing with Abir. I know there is
Mm,
something is missing. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I love it. I'm putting all my effort, and I know it's very rewarding. But I know there was something missing, and I at that time I didn't know what it was and it was for a few months until I figured out what was it. And it was when we had a couple of students coming to the bank for their internship, and they were coming to do their internship, and they have been assigned to me to for like 3 weeks, and then they are going to move to other departments. I think these 3 weeks of my life was the huge shift that I really discovered Abir's purpose in life and my true passion, which is
mm,
teaching and training and sharing knowledge with people.
mm,
These
mm.
3 weeks, I truly was like on the moon
Okay.
with all the joy that I have experiencing. And I still can't even like describe how I felt during these 3 weeks. And then I discovered what was missing, the passion, or the thing that was missing from whatever I was doing during a bank. Even though it was part of my job to do like training and teaching, but it wasn't my main target in banking. My main target in banking is banking services for the customer. But to be like fully involved in teaching, training, mentoring, coaching, and working with the students, or with even with the other people, that was the 3 weeks that made the huge difference in Abir's life. And subhanallah, sometimes when you discover your purpose, God put things in your way that will help you achieve what you want or get what you want.
Mm,
After a month from that experience, I received a call from the Higher College of Technology, because that was when I did my diploma, and I still have connection with people there. And they told me, lady called me and she said, "We have a position at the Students' Affair, an officer of students' life. Would you like to apply?"
mm, mm,
And it was like, wow, it's just on time. The thing that I wanted to be in an educational environment
mm, mm,
around students and or around people that I can teach or train or coach. And it was really a critical decision. Everybody around me called me crazy for that decision. No, truly, everybody, even my brothers and my sister, everybody told me, "You are crazy to do this," because I was like an assistant manager, and in a couple of months I will be a branch manager, and in 6 months' time I will be a regional manager with a salary something around 50,000 and prestigious position. Like, I have built a career in a very short time, and I'm leaving all of this to start from scratch as an officer, where the salary is like even less than half of my current salary.
mm, mm,
And I did it.
mm.
I did it because I felt the joy of it. I know what I'm going to have there, and I did it. And everybody called me crazy, but I did it. And alhamdulillah, since 2006, I'm still in educational environment until now. I built myself. I completed my PhD. I completed a lot of like other certificate and made sure that I achieved, alhamdulillah. But I'm still having the same passion. I'm still having the same joy that I had in 2006 when I had these students intern with me. So I think it's when you find the passion, when you find the thing that would make you feel like satisfied from inside, then you'll be able to enjoy whatever you do as a job rather than just doing a job and going home. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Amira. When you were sharing that story, where it is that that motivation is spreading to us also, we can see that vibrancy there with respect to the vigor, that interest and inspiration
Yeah.
behind that. So thank you for sharing that and taking a step back to move forward. And I just want to see and listen to you. It will be challenging to do a PhD during work. Wha-
Yeah.
what are some of these motivations? So that is another extraordinary step which you have taken. Tell me that story, which also will help.
You know that I did my diploma where I was working. I did my master when I was working, and I did my PhD when I was working. So all my degrees, I have been doing them as a part-time, evening time or a weekend to do it. It's challenging, to be honest,
Mm.
because when I was doing for example, when I was doing my diploma, it was like a full day. I mean, like every day of the week. So I leave home 7 in the morning to go to work, and after work I go to the university and then come back home 7 or 8 at night. So mostly the whole day I'm out working and studying. Maybe with the master and the PhD, it was like over a weekend, so it was a little bit flexible with the timing, but the amount of work that you put to do your PhD, for example, is massive, and
Yeah.
it will need a lot of like time management. Mental health management. That's a side is a huge. That's a
Yes.
side
Yeah.
that's a huge to have your mental health. I was doing it part time. Actually, it took me longer than expected, but because of that, like I have like responsibility at work. Sometimes I'll not be able to write. Sometimes you have this block for a couple of months that you can't write anything, literally not a word. So it took me around 6 years as a part time to finish my PhD, but I did it. What kept me motivated is another passion I have in life, or let's say value that I have in my life, which is knowledge and learning, a continuous knowledge, gaining knowledge and learning. This is one of my values, and until now, any opportunity to learn something new, I am in. Any opportunity to get a knowledge through training, through conferences, through workshop, attending to people, attending now it's very easy to attend online with anybody you would like around the world. It's still one of my values. That what made me complete my all degrees, even when I have the work in the morning and I have to put that pressure on myself. Sometimes with evening, sometimes with the weekend. When I was doing my PhD, I literally have no social life. I didn't attend any gathering, any weddings, any outside visits, or hang out with friends. Literally for 6 years, I was stuck with like work and completing my degree. So yeah, it's a challenge, but if you have the right motivation of it, if you have the right value that will feed you up to complete what you started, then it will be there. You will find on and out of your like daily I'm not going to say motivation, but let's say effort or power or energy to do it, but it's still there. You know that, yes, I want to do it. It's not I'm going to cut it off and cancel it from my career.
Mm. Yeah. So when you shared about the values part, so if you reflect and think about who are some of the influences in your childhood, maybe parents, maybe teachers, maybe co-workers or superiors in the workplace, teachers or professors. Do you remember some of those things which you might have influenced? One or two, if you can share incidents. Like, they may not know that you considered them as a mentor, but you kept them as a mentor. So if you think about that, is there anyone which you like to, you can avoid the names if you don't want to mention, but some of the stories behind that will be helpful.
Definitely. Um, well, first of all, my all time inspiration is my mother, of course. I mean, she's the one that let's say, planted the seed of the importance of education and learning in me and all my siblings, to be honest. All of them, alhamdulillah, with high degrees in their career and achieving. So she is my role model. My mother and my father doesn't read and doesn't write, so they are like literally they didn't have any education, but the seed that they planted in me that you have to achieve your degrees, you have to keep learning, you need to make sure that you build yourself into that environment is my inspiration. So my mother, particularly my mother, because she was like the one who was very supportive in every decision I make in my whole life. Every decision. Whenever I tell her, okay, there is a workshop that I want to attend in that place, she will say, you go do it. I want to complete my master degree. You can do it. I want to complete my PhD. Some people, I mean, sometimes even my brothers and some people are saying, "Okay, you learned enough. You have attended like a million workshop now. That's more than enough." I still want to learn. And the only one who was always telling me, you can do it and you go and do it, it was my mother. So she's my role model. She's the person that I look at because she made sure that she raised six children, all of them with higher degrees. So I look at her as like my whole inspiration and my whole role model in life. I also have like role models from people around me, and I look at them, and one of them was my supervisor who supervised my PhD degree, and she passed away last year, unfortunately. But she knew, and I also told her that she one of the people that I always look at as a role model in terms of education and how she can take care of her student and how she really feel for them. She was amazing with us. She was amazing with us. She worked with us not only in our PhD. She also worked with us on our mental health, with our time management, with how we inspire ourselves every day. She was really a role model for anyone. She was really amazing in what she have been doing with us. Her name was Professor Eugenie Samir. I mean, she passed away last year, but still, I still look at her because she's really established as a researcher, and she have been like published a lot, like hundreds, maybe thousand, I guess, of articles in her field. So this is a role model that I always look at and make sure that I remember her words and remember her teaching when how to really take care of my mental health before doing anything else, because that was our issue when we were doing our PhD. Uh, Another role model that is there, of course, Sheikh Zayed, Allah yarhamah. I mean, he's a role model for all the Emiratis, and we are where we are as the United Arab Emirates because of his vision and his like future like imagination of how the country should be, and building toward that is another role model for us to be able to know that if we put something, if we put the plan, if we have the strategy, we'll be able to achieve what we want. So that's another role model. And of course, all the sheikhs now who are currently there are like following his role model or his visionary way of doing things, making it a role model for everybody in the United Arab Emirates. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. We all are inspired by these visionary
Yeah.
leaders being living in the country. So, thank you for highlighting. Now, I know when you mentioned workshops, I know you are working with John Maxwell, one of the leading thought leader on leadership within the region. So, I just like to know how you came across his work and how that association started. That story will be another inspirational one for all of us.
Certainly, certainly. Okay, when I was doing my PhD, that was in 2011, I started the first module. And I knew that my PhD topic, the main topic, will be leadership, because that the passion that I had during my work with my students, during the my 9 years of teaching. I taught leadership and management, so I had the passion of leadership and how it should be and how the leader should be, and instead of what we sometimes have as leaders, if they call them leaders. So I have that passion, and I start searching about leaders and leadership and reading and listening to people around the world, either within the Middle East or internationally. And I came across a lot of speakers who were talking like on YouTube, and I listened to them and try to understand their perspective of leadership. A lot of them have a good perspective, but they didn't have the the easy way to reach people.
Mm.
I am a person who like to have the relaxing way in teaching people. I don't like the voice. I don't like sometimes the interaction that they do. Some of the speaker, they try to push you hard and like force you sometimes, not even push you. They sometimes force you to do things. Leadership is not about forcing, or like even teaching leadership is not about forcing. And then one of the people that I listened to on YouTube was John Maxwell, and I was inspired about his calmness. He was really relaxed talking in front of the camera and just teaching leadership with very simple words, with very relaxed way, using a lot of stories, a lot of concept, that it made it very easy to grab it like this. And I was, wow, this is someone I need to learn more about him. And I start listening more and more to him. I start like purchasing his book and start reading his books. And then I decided, okay, this is a person that I would like to have him as a mentor
Mm.
in leadership, because he have like I'm not going to say 100. He published so far, I think, something around 70, between 70 and 90. I can't recall the exact number of
Yeah.
books around leadership. And I said, okay, that's a person I'm going to follow as a role model in leadership. And I start reading his book, a lot of his books. But the first book I read it for him, I also have the book here with me, The
Yeah.
15 Laws of
Oh,
Growth.
really?
That was the hack that got me with him. And he was really interesting. And I thought, I need to be aware of that person. I start searching him. I found his Academy for Leadership. I found that he's giving his knowledge, he's giving his material, he's giving everything that he has for people to be able to impact other people's. So
Mm.
that's basically what we get as certified coach, trainer, or facilitator or speaker from John Maxwell Leadership Academy, to use his material to be able to inspire other people and impact other people's life. So imagine someone who will give you everything that he has
Mm.
for you
Mm.
to use for your business, for your coaching, for your job, whatever you want. You will use it, but use it to inspire other people around you and impact their lives. So I said, nobody will do that. To be honest, a lot of the leaders around the world, nobody will do that. They will
Mm.
charge you fortune. He charged amount, but he charged something reasonable, and at the same time, he gives you everything. It's not like a
Mm.
small part I will give it to you and a small part will stay with me because I want to use that part as a speaker. He gave you everything, literally
Mm.
everything.
Mm.
So I said, okay, yeah, John Maxwell is my next step. I went to US. I attended the conference. I get the certification, and now I'm using his material. And sometimes I customize it for the client or for the organization that they requested. And I worked around John Maxwell since to 2020. I mean, I made the trip just before the pandemic, and then the pandemic came, and it was an opportunity for me to get more information about him, start reading, start attending his online session, and every year I have to travel to kind of, it's kind of a renewing your certification with him, get to learn more about it. He brings a speaker from all over the world to support his conference that happens every year for the certified people. They come as an alumni to be able to renew their certification, or people who will join him. And he have, as of now, he have 50,000 certified people around the world who are using
Mhm.
his material. Imagine 50,000 people are using his material and everything
Yeah.
that he can. I mean, he's an amazing person. He's great, and I'm really privileged that I he came across my career, and I'm holding his certification. I'm trying to use his material to impact other people's life in different areas, in personal growth, in leadership, in communication, in team building, a lot of things that he's offering, and I'm so glad that I'm part of it. I'm so glad I'm part of it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that inspirational story. Now, I just like to ask your thoughts and perspectives. Sometimes there are, like, for example, people who are watching us or listening to us. They may be sometimes new people who are exploring work, not yet received one.
Yeah,
People who are maybe in the work but lost the opportunity and now exploring new, or sometimes people may be stuck in that regular work pattern but they
yeah.
want to do something different. What will be your thoughts and your sharing with them, especially to find better growth mindset for those people? Any thoughts, any perspective which you like to share?
Yeah, yeah. I had a lot of the people I coached over the years in a similar situation of the example that you already gave me. And I always start with them with two things. The first thing I start with is their values, because if
Mhm.
you know your value, you'll be able to understand yourself as a next step. So, values, what are your values? What are the things that make you live
Mhm.
at the
Mhm.
first place?
Mhm.
Before even thinking about work or thinking about like moving up with your career, or if you are stuck, what do you want to do next? What is your value? What motivates you? What makes you live your life? And that's the first thing I start with it. And it's a small exercise, like 30 minutes exercise people can do, and then they will find their values. Most of them, sometimes they practice the value, but they don't know that this is what make me do whatever I do or say whatever I say. So
Mhm.
being aware of it will get them to really widening a little bit how they are looking at their career or at their life, and try to understand why they are doing certain things. So that's the first thing I always advise people to do, is to find their values. There are exercises like available online. They can do one. I have John Maxwell like values exercise. I do it with them, and then we discover at least 5 values that will make them live. Then the
Mhm.
next one is the self awareness, self understanding. They need to understand themselves. What do they do? Why they do things the way they are doing it? What's the actual thing that they would like to do in their life? Are they willing to sacrifice things? I mean, sometimes you have to sacrifice things in your life to be able to get what you want. And this is what I have
Mhm.
done. Like back then when I was in banking, I had to
Yeah.
sacrifice like all that, because this is what I want. This is what Abir want to live. So
Mm.
the prices, are you willing to pay the price for whatever you want? What do you need to add? What is missing in you, and how you are going to get this knowledge or this certification or this degree that will allow you to reach what you really want? A lot of the question I start with asking them, and I have the list of a question as well, people, and I always post it because this is something I just offer it for people. I need them to know what they want in their life. And when they answer these 10 questions, I think it's 10, 12 questions, when they answer them, and then they need to sit and decide, what do I want to do next? Am I willing
Mhm.
to follow the answer that I gave for all these questions, or I'm really stuck and I don't want to do it? Because it also goes back to you as a person. Nobody will come and help you. Nobody will do anything for you unless you decide to do something for yourself. You decide
Mm,
to wake up from your, to get your wake up call and start doing whatever you do. So
mm.
these are the two things I always ask people to start with: their values and then their self awareness or self understanding. Once you are fully with, fully with these two things, other things will come your way. Some people will take few days, few months. Some people will take years to be able to do that, until they really find what they want to do and move out of the stuck area that they are in.
Thank you, Dr. Abir. That is really helpful. And I know you are I am remarkable facilitator. So
Yes,
I just want to close the session with that question. So tell me what and how this program, and I know it is open to public. You often
yes,
facilitate that, which
yes,
I have seen often on the LinkedIn. You are posting that
yes.
I'm hosting this I am remarkable workshop. How can people join also? So if you can help to give that also, it will be definitely helpful.
Sure. I came across I Am Remarkable certification or the movement because I always reach for knowledge and learning. That's why how I got it. And I was looking for something that could inspire people, get them to get more self-confident, self-aware of themselves, and be able to speak about themselves. And then I came across this movement, I Am Remarkable. And let me tell you a little bit about the movement. It's a movement started at the beginning in Google company. So it
Okay.
started very small as an initiative. They were having this like a weekly day that people will gather and they will start uh, promoting themselves to their colleagues. So they will start with I am remarkable because, and they will start like listing everything they have done that day or that week in their life. It's basically, if you are a mother, you are remarkable. If you are a father, you are remarkable. If you achieve a degree, you are remarkable. If you help someone on the street in the morning, you are remarkable. So simple, small thing that they are doing. So to make people start promoting themselves, talking about their achievement, the challenges that they face, and how they overcome it, their achievement, the success they are doing. Because sometimes, I'm not going to say sometimes, most of the time, people are uh, really, how I can put it, they don't feel what they are doing is really remarkable. They think it's part of what I have to do every day and I'm doing it. No, it's not part of what you have to do every day. It's something that you are putting your effort, yourself, your mental health, everything that you have to do it, which means
Mm,
it's something worth sharing with the world. So
mm,
this is
mm,
how they started trying to push people to be able to speak up about what they are doing, achieving, and doing in their life. And it was really successful within Google because people start talking about everything they are doing, and they start feeling more self-confident and looking for the next achievement that they would like to do because they want to speak up about it. And then from that moment, they start like global. They get it out of the Google and they start this movement with everybody around the world, especially with women, because women think that they can do everything without being even recognized for the things that they are doing. They are mothers, they are working at the same time, they are handling families, they are handling themselves, a lot of things they are doing. So it's kind of a movement to support people to promote themselves and to promote their achievement, to promote their success, and then be able to speak up about it and share it with the world. It's a 90-minute workshop. We do it with people. We give them this information that I gave you, and we give them technique of how to do it. And actually, it's free. Everybody can attend it at any time and at any point. And I'm happy that I did it because that's one of the things that I would give back to the community, especially women. And I can do it in Arabic and I can do it in English. It's amazing. And I always make sure that I have one public session that I do per month for people to attend. If people will request me to go to their organization and do it for their people, so I do that. But yeah, like from Abeer to the world, I do it once a month, making sure that people will have the chance to attend it. So it's really remarkable things that you do for yourself and for the people around you.
Thank you, Dr. Aber. It was a pleasure and a remarkable moment for me to
Mm,
be engaged
for me as
in this
well.
conversation with you. And again, that's what we also try to convey through from ordinary to extraordinary. We all
Yeah.
are ordinary in one way, and when we are all extraordinary in another way. We have to celebrate what we do, and that is where that I am remarkable coming up. And thank you for giving me your valuable time today. And audience, in case you have any questions, please reach out in the comments. Come with your thoughts, ideas. You can connect with myself as well as Dr. Abeer AlRasbi to share your perspective. Connect with her for leadership as well as coaching related programs. So, with that, I like to thank you all. We'll catch up with other guests. Dr. Abeer, any passing and closing remark from your side?
First of all, thank you very much for having me with you, Phoebe. It's an honor and it's a privilege, and I hope, inshallah, whatever I have shared with people will be an inspiration, even if it's a small, tiny bit that will get them to move on with their life. And the last maybe remark that I will share is for people to really, really, really work on themselves, understand themselves, and focus on self-understanding and self-awareness. That's what make everything possible in your life if you really understand yourself.
Thank you. With that, we are closing the session for the day. Thank you, audience, for joining us today. I hope some of you may be watching and listening at a later time. I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Dr. Abeer AlRasbi. Thank you very much for joining us.